Well, hello everyone, and welcome to my new show. Well, if you've not heard that, get over to Bob Brown's channel on YouTube, Out of Nowhere, and go and give him some love. Best Bob, as I call him, because he's the best, is Bob. And give him a subscribe. Fantastic guy. If you met him yourself, you'd know why I call him Best Bob, because he's just an amazing guy. Genuine, always smiling. Kind of moans a bit, but that's just a bit on the funny side of things. But what a cracking guy he is. So, Out of Nowhere, look for Best Bob. Go and give him your love and support. So, basically, getting back to this show, Wit News, which is 10, actually. I did slip up, and what I did basically, when I look back, I mixed in a Wit News halfway through the Minicon at Bolton, and I totally forgot about it. I just totally forgot about it. So this actually is Wit News 10. And I hope you're enjoying the Wit News to keep you updated. Now, that was my first bit of a telling off. And the second one was, I don't know how I've been doing the show, to be honest, because I couldn't find the readers. Anyway, I found them. So there you go. There you go. Just get the position right and a good slurp of Yorkshire tea. Right, basically, just to fill in. I hope you're all well, by the way. And yeah, Wit News 10. Come on, 10. Wow. It's only seems 2 minutes since I do the first one, but yeah. So, first on the agenda is I've looked a bit more into the Sycamore Gap tree. Basically, I mean, Hadrian's Wall is what, 1900 years old. The tree is 300 years old. And you have to ask yourself, why would somebody want to fell a tree, which is it was well loved all across the world, and it was well known. through films and whatnot, and people's memories. So I looked a bit deeper into it, and I found a little bit of information. Now, I know there's Andrew and Daniels who appeared in court earlier this year, and also as well, I found out that just after the tree was felled, which I think it was the 28th of September 2023, they arrested a Walter Renwick, a 69-year-old retired lumberjack, but don't come to any conclusions, which basically lived about, as the crow flies, about 8 miles away from the actual tree. Now, when I looked a bit more into it, he was arrested, and the 16-year-old. Now, I don't know if he was part of the family, I don't know, but basically he was arrested because where he was living was rented, basically, and his lease was coming to the end. 7 days before the tree was felled, the lease was finishing. But what he was doing, apparently, there was a number of complaints at an unofficial campsite which he was running. So there's a few complaints, and what they said is, look, we're terminating it and we're throwing you out of the house, basically. So is that something where somebody would kind of, lose the rag and think, I'm going to show you and cut down the tree? I don't know. But basically, I don't know where, or basically I'm thinking that Andrews and Daniels, I think Andrews was a 31-year-old from the Lake District, the top end of the lakes, and Daniels was a 38-year-old from Carlisle, which is further up near, the Sycamore Gap. So basically, has it come to where he's lost his rag, and obviously he's not going to do it if he does anyway, because he's a lumberjack, the point is straight at you straight away. So has he got these two to maybe do the job for him? But we can't come to any conclusions because they're due back in court on the 3rd of December, I believe, in Newcastle Crown Court. So so that's a little bit of a bit of a more story to it, which gives a bit more cred to why the tree was cut down. But we still can't, you know what I mean? But surely they must have had something like ANPR. It must have had ANPR, to record and see whereabouts the registrations were and the vehicles at that time. And apparently you can actually, when you look, you can actually more or less drive up to the actual tree itself. There's an actual road, a dirt track, what goes to the tree itself. So there's, you wouldn't have to, get hold of a chainsaw and carry it for miles. You can actually drive up to it, which is quite interesting in itself. But, they were on about as well about satellite imagery, where I know when I've looked on that night, it was a very, very clear night. So maybe they've got these satellites to look down. They're bound to, run off a time what they've got. If they've got anything on the NPR, on the vehicle registrations, and, get to the Sycamore Gap and work a time out and whatnot. So maybe they've got imagery from a satellite. Who knows? But also as well, they've got mobile tracking, as in the mobile phones, which a lot of people tend to forget. They don't leave them at home, or if they do, they switch them off and then they slip up because they know the actual phone has been switched off. So so I just thought I'd fill in a little bit more why there might be a reason there for, because it was just pondering me that, why would somebody want to kill, a world well-known tree, to be honest. 300 years old. There's loads of memories there. It's known all across the world. Been in films. People have got married there, so it's just strange, really, really strange. But I mean, they've caused about, what is it, about £622,000 worth of damage and £2,000 to the wall itself. Now, if they're found guilty, if innocent till proven guilty, they face 10 years in jail. To me, I don't think it's enough. But basically, if they get the right people, it's better than getting away with it, I suppose. So, yeah, so that's the bit more of a filling on, I've looked a bit more into the Sycamore Gap tree, gives a bit more reason to things that somebody was angry, not far away, within 10 miles of the tree, and, but like I said, innocent until proven guilty. Now, basically, I hope let's move on, and hope you really enjoyed the S-T-A-T film, which came out. If you didn't see it, it's on YouTube, and I think it's had about 15,000 views already in about 3 weeks. Also, if you go on Facebook and go under W.H.I.T, you'll scroll down the page and you'll see that it's on there as well. Mick's put that up on there as well. So it's had some really good comments. I really, really enjoyed the day. It was different. Somebody filming us instead of filming ourselves for our own content. But yeah, it was really good. And when you watch it back, it kind of gives you a bit more light into how, you act yourself on, the videos, which, you need to know really where you can better yourself, and, little tweaks and tweaks there. But I've had about 12 last week new subscribers. So I can't thank you enough. I cannot thank you enough, because the reason I said that, not about the subscribers, I'm not bothered I've got 1, 2, but what it tells me is that people are liking it. And especially when I've looked at the figures for W.H.I.T News, that people are loving W.H.I.T News. And I think it is just a little bit of a good fill-in for you people to understand what's going on in the background to where we W.H.I.T as a team. So, yeah. So, like I said, the only thing about stats was when I watched it on the actual YouTube channel, my hair is absolutely terrible, sorry. I couldn't believe it, to be fair, but I was trying to race around that day to get my haircut, and I just couldn't. It was just, so I've had it cut for you today, and no, I've not had my ears lowered, which a few people I'm sure would have said. So, yeah, up and onwards. Right. Now, also what I've been thinking about, this is a bit of a strange one. Now, when my job involves valeting, and obviously I do decking, so basically I'm on my own all the time, basically. So you start pondering, and, your mind goes over on things. So the other week I was thinking, and I was actually watching Best Bob's show, and there was something on, and I was kind of listening to it, but I was doing something at the same time. And something picked up, and he said, "What were the dogman's colours' eyes?" And they said they were greeny yellow. And I stopped what I was doing, and I went, "Hang on a minute, what greeny yellow?" So I replayed it, watched it again, and I thought, "Hang on, let's just go back." And I thought, greeny yellow eyes, and I thought, that's what happened at Benton. So I took a step back, and I sat down, and I thought, right, okay, let's start again from, the first point of when something happened. Now, the first point of something happened, as we recognise as being paranormal, was basically with me, because I was the one who first witnessed the actual whatever, as I say it, or I have said it in the past. Now, when it all kind of calmed down, and I looked at the video, and I said, it looks like a deer, and it looks like a big cat because of the tail. And I was pondering, and I'm thinking, it can't have been, it just wouldn't have been. I mean, when they went off into the distance and stood on the hill, to me, I think it was 2 dogmen. I actually do think that it was 2 dogmen. because I've been listening. Vic Cundiff, carry on with the show, Vic. Absolutely fantastic, amazing. And I've listened to stuff, and stuff what's mentioned happened that night. It was just very strange. But the eyes are the first thing that I saw, and to me, I swear to God, it was two dogmen. I've actually heard another YouTube channel where a witness had seen the dogmen, and they said it moved like a snake. It was serpent-like. And if you watch, you can get it. Well, we've not got it actually, so we'll put it into the show. But the day after it happened, I rung Paul and Les at Digital Creations and Truth Proof, and Paul very kindly got Les to come down with a camera. We did actually at Benton Cliffs did an interview, and if you watch back, I will actually say that it was movement like a snake. So when these things keep popping up, I'm kind of storing them at the back of the head, the colour of the eyes and everything, and I could have sworn it was two dogmen. I could swear. I just get a funny feeling at it that it was two dogmen. But did the shape shift? It was just, but there was only me really who saw them stood up, basically, until they actually went to the top of the hill and they were keeping the same distance apart, but they kept popping up and they were high. If you watched, my channel or Mick McLaren's, when they actually zoom in with the psionics, you'll see they're really high. So I just don't think it was a deer and a cat. Maybe it appeared as that, but I just think it was two dogmen. Very, very strange now. I'll never forget it, like I said, but yeah. Right. Also as well, I hope you enjoyed a little bit of a twist on doing the abandoned buildings. A few people have said, yeah, it was really good. We've had some good views. It was something different. We all liked it. It was new to us, so we had kind of mixed sayings, It was different. That's the word to say. But like I said, I wouldn't like to do it all the time, but I thought it was good for a change. Now, there might be more. If you want more, comment below, so as we can find out more of what you're actually thinking too, But I know on Mick McLaren's last video, he actually was talking about it, and he was looking at places, in Lancashire to start off with and see, any old mills or whatnot. And he knows some anyway, to be fair. But yeah, so comment below if you want to see more. But I did enjoy it. It was a different day. I enjoyed it. It was a bit of a rush because, I had to get back and whatnot. But I really, really enjoyed it. And always it was great meeting up with all of them as well. Harlem, my talk critics, Mick McLaren, and of course Carol Ann. So we'll press on a little bit more. Now, you see as well that we've been doing some work in the Lake District. Mick McLaren's last video on his channel is at the lakes. He's kept popping up and having a look round. I'm on with stuff up there. As you know, you saw the actual little short on the YouTube channel about Haitian nuclear power plant. That's nearly up and running. That 4K camera is bought, sealed and delivered. Just wants putting up and connecting, so that's sorted that. So I'll fill you in on more on that, but that'll probably be next week sometime, something like that, when it's up and running. Basically, it's all ready to go. I've got to test it and then, keep your eyes on the shorts. I might release it on a short just to say, yep, it's good to go. And if you want to see it all the time and over the bay, we'll sort something out and we'll get you on board so as you can look at, well, whenever. You can, if you're on your lunch, you can have a look. If you're, sat there at 11 o'clock at night and think, oh, can I just look at something while I'm watching something and, two things at once and just keep your eye. But basically, if it does catch on and people like it, which fingers crossed, I hope they do, because it's a new idea and it's different, that I'll get another one, and we'll put it up at the, well, let's call it the Cat Mat Cam, you know, so you can see what's happening down there over at the back end of Rivington at any time. So it's unlimited footage, but like I said, I'll fill you on more when, you know, I jot some more stuff down and do some more testing. Now, also, I want to bring you into a section which is called Out in the Field. Now, out in the field, it's for us really to go out and actually interview somebody. But basically, what I've done is, this could be fascinating, to be fair. Now, we've not actually got an out in the field. Well, we have, but we've not actually gone out and interviewed anybody or any witnesses came in, because it has been really quiet and everybody's been busy. I've been mega busy, still am, stupidly busy. And basically what it was I went up to the caravan 2 weeks ago, and the second to last video which Mick McLaren released was at Roddlesworth Woods. Now, Mick went on a Friday because he doesn't work Friday, he only works 4 days a week. And he went on his own. You've seen, you know, his channel. If you're not, go over and give Mick loving and a share, and also subscribe. And yeah, so you'll know that Fridays he goes out and, you know, does a little bit on whatever, talking, or he goes out videoing and whatnot. Now, the second to last one, like I say, at Roddlesworth Woods, now that's where I had my little encounter. And I've also felt that there's something there. There's something I can't put my finger on. It needs a bit more investigation. But basically, he went out this Friday morning early. It must have been between 7 and 9. There was nobody about, he said. And if you watch it, which I watched it, where he sat at the base of the tree, and basically sat there for an hour and a half, didn't really move. Which I think is another thing we've got to do, is sit more in one place and let whatever, the paranormal, whatever, come in and, you know, view us to get some data. But basically, sat at the bottom of his tree, and I watched the video and I thought, there's something not right somewhere. First thing is, when he walked into where people have reported seeing black shadows dashing from tree to tree, I felt from me watching it that it was being watched. Now, I can't put my finger on why, and that's what started me ears picking up and thinking, hang on, what's going on here? Now, there was a slight breeze. You'll see it in the background when actually Mick is facing the tree. But if you look at my comments on Mick's channel, you'll see I say something about what's something over the top of Mick, just at the top of the screen in the tree, 21 minutes in. What's that? And when I looked a bit more into it after I left the comment, I'll show you on the screen now. Like I said, it could be mind-blowing. It could be just, it's either two things, basically. It's either the breeze blowing the actual branches and the leaves. Now, when you watch the video, you'll see at different times Mick stops the video from facing the front of the tree and moves the camera to the sides. So you get a vision of what's behind Mick as well, and over the top, just over the top of the tree before it starts branching out. And you can't really see any leaves. Now, we've got to go back and do a bit more testing. I spoke to Mick last week and he said he was going to try and nip back and have a look. So I've not spoke to Mick yet. I'll speak to him on Thursday, which I always do. And, well, I'll show you to basically, it's like I said, it's either branches or the leaves, or, as I said at the beginning, it's absolutely mind-blowing, to be honest, because as soon as I saw it, I thought that's what I was trying to put my head around, what I'd kind of seen in the background but not picked up on it until I started zooming in and playing about with the screen. But I'll put it on screen and let you watch. But like I say, it is fascinating if it is something on the paranormal realm of things, to be fair.
Be shown what it's like in that area, like this, to be shown this area I'm in. You seeing it and knowing when you listen to some of these accounts that I receive that you're seeing what the areas are like and where people have experienced these encounters in. Be shown what it's like in that area, like this, to be shown this area I'm in. You seeing it and knowing when you listen to some of these accounts that I receive that you're seeing what the areas are like and where people have experienced these encounters in. Be shown what it's like in that area, like this, to be shown this area I'm in. You seeing it and knowing when you listen to some of these accounts that I receive that you're seeing what the areas are like and where people have experienced these encounters in. Be shown what it's like in that area, like this, to be shown this area I'm in. You seeing it and knowing when you listen to some of these accounts that I receive that you're seeing what the areas are like and where people have experienced these encounters in. be shown what it's like in that area, like this, to be shown this area I'm in. You seeing it and knowing when you listen to some of these accounts that I receive, that you're seeing what the areas are like and where people have experienced these encounters in.
So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it, and it's just, like I say, it needs a bit more investigation. We'd love you to comment below and tell us what you think. I think it's something on the paranormal side, basically because the way it moves, I've slowed it down. It's a different colour, but I could be wrong. But there again, if it is something paranormal, please let us know below what you think. You know, don't just put a thumbs up or, yeah, we like it. Tell us what you think it is, which is out in the field. Because we'd love you to, you know, explain yourself what you actually see. But like I say, we're going back and there'll be a bit more investigation work done into that. And that's why the home screen was set as the Predator. Right. Moving on. Let's see what else we've got down here. Basically, what we've got coming up is we are out and about soon. We've arranged some dates. Keep your eyes on W.H.I.T. I think next up is in the next couple of weeks, we're going over to W.H.I.T. Now, I know if I Talk Cryptids is watching this, he'll be smiling cheek to cheek, because I think when he's older, for some reason, something tells me he's going to move down there. Because he absolutely loves the place. Now, I know we've been, and we didn't, you know, see anything, feel anything, but like I said, we went and we got the feel of the area. We went to the actual German cemetery. Now, what we're going to do this time, I've been speaking to Mick and a few others, and we've said we'll go to the actual, well, Mick's had a report of somebody who was actually up there, I think it was him and his son, I think. They went camping, and a wild man was seen, Bigfoot, or they got the feeling that something was watching them, and they actually jumped back into the van and moved back down to the car park and more or less, you know, gathered everything up in the morning and just shot off. It kind of really spooked them. So we're going to look around that area. I don't know what area it is because I've not spoke to Mick about the actual area itself. I think we're going over to the Punch Bowl. Now, H had not heard about the actual Punch Bowl, so he's doing a little bit more read up on it, and also we're going to the actual War Cold Tower, you know, the actual tower, which was, I don't know what it was used for, but strange things have happened there, and I think the Pigman's been seen there, I think, to be honest, or around that area. So them are the three places we're going. Now, keep your eyes out for, like I say, updates. Keep your eye out for that video because it'll be a good one, because I've got something coming which I think we need, and I think it's going to get us really, really good results. Phenomenal results, I think, the way I've been jotting things down. So yeah, so keep your eyes peeled. So I've been babbling on long enough, and I've been missing my cup of Yorkshire. So I will wish you well. Also, as well, give Steve Mira a subscribe on his channel, and Truth Proof, 401 Files. Just give everybody, you know, in the actual cryptid UFO, you know, paranormal world, basically, give them all a like. So basically, I'll leave you on that note. I hope I've filled you in with a bit more information. Sorry, last month I missed out, but like I said, my hands are tired at the moment. I'm just so busy. But I had to get this information to you. And I wanted you to see the actual and get your actual thoughts from the actual, Glimmerman, Predator, whatever. It's very strange. I've actually got a friend who is in the paranormal world. I spoke to him because he's actually got something on.
I thought you heard something.
He's got actually something in the background very similar. As soon as I saw that, triggered me to what he'd already shown me. I can't go any more into it. That, you know, it's a bit hushy-hushy at the moment. So, yeah, but it looks more or less the same. But it's at a further distance, it's further away. But, yeah, so enough said. Thanks for supporting my channel. You're absolutely brilliant. Thanks again to the new subscribers. Fantastic. And, yeah, so thanks again. Keep drinking plenty of tea. And we'll keep going out there and getting the results for you. Cheers again. Bye-bye for now.